Good evening, it is Tuesday and it is time for round 3 of the GT3 Sprint Series by Slip and Grip Sim Racing. Hello in the chat. If you're joining us this evening, let me know if all is good as always. We can see qualifying is just underway. 13 minutes remaining. We're just watching Aaron Sterrett in the Lamborghini. So how have we all been since last week? Well, we didn't stream last week, did we? But the week before. So we've had all seasons in the UK. And now it's settling down to the usual British summer, which is nice. I can assure you I did spend a long time trying to sort out the stream and make it as smooth as possible, but it seems my efforts were kind of wasted because it seems pretty damn random. So we will have parts of the stream that will be very good, and other bits which are pretty choppy and pretty annoying, but we won't dwell on that. Let's get down to business. So Aaron Sterrett on his outlap. So we've got Aaron. Sorry, we weren't looking at Aaron Sterrett at all. We were looking at Albert Seragili in the 88. You'll see 397 on the number down in the bottom right, but it's actually car 88. So there's for the first full release of the game, it's not quite there, is it? It's almost like it's still not quite finished. But anyway, so this is Albert Seragili. Aaron Sterrett is in the other Lamborghini, the black, blue, yellow and purple. Not confusing at all, is it? Everyone's in the same cars. That's Adam Zarvar, or Zadvar, Albert, and then Kyle Wright in the Mercedes. Let's quickly run through everyone so you can get an idea of who is who. And we've got Adam Foster in the McLaren. Andrew Wellborn in the... it's not Andrew Wellborn, is it? Andrew Wellborn in the Mercedes. So this is a new car released today on the game. This is base content, free for all. And it looks like the sun has just came out. So the guys will be having to adjust their tyre pressures to suit. Currently, Samuel Wibberley on pole position, or provisional pole, on a 1:52.699. Not sure if that time will stand, but we will find out. Who have we got on a quick lap then? It's hard to say at the moment. Early doors for everyone. Oh, as we see Samuel absolutely stack it into the barriers at Ascari. That will not be a fast one for him. So he's currently on pole, but he's now in the garage. Phil Nauder in second position currently. Also on a reasonably good lap for him in the Lamborghini. There's going to be a lot of Lamborghinis this evening. It's a very popular car. You can see down the leaderboard on the left-hand side. Lots of Lamborghini badges, a few McLarens, and the odd BMW. So Joe Challoner, no actually, I thought Joe Challoner had managed to join us, but a few of the guys are having to download the 13 gigabyte update. So it's v1.0 today. This is the launch day of the full game. If you count this as the full game. Currently, I don't believe there is any single player or anything like that. and I'm pretty sure that was on the road map. So maybe internal pressures at the game developers. You know, this game was launched over a year ago, year and a half maybe. Actually, I think it was launched at Le Mans last year. So yeah, at least a year. So it's time to get on with it. Right, some times going in now. So we've got Adam Zarvar in another Lamborghini. So he's currently on pole on a 151.756. Pretty close in qualifying. We had about 18, 19 people. So we've actually got 20 in the server now. About a second between the top 10. And a little bit more as you go down the ranks. You can see at the moment we're down to 8th, covered by a second, and then the rest a couple of seconds, and a few at the back just getting up to speed. Let us know if everything is okay. Hopefully the cars aren't too loud, or you know, the audio over the top of myself isn't too loud. Just let me know in the chat if you want something tweaking, and I'll be happy to do so. Jonathan Howless on a 151.596 now, on pole position. Looks like the Lambos are absolutely dominating at the minute, top 3. Just Adam Foster in 4th in the McLaren, half a second down. We're keeping a close eye on Andrew Wellborn in the Mercedes, see if he can get up there. There's a great example of the terrible jutters and stutters. Don't ask me how to fix it, because I do not know. Harrison Fulton going quite well in the McLaren as well, in 7th position currently. And then 8th, 9th and 10th is a trio of Lambos. Phil Nauder, Jonathan Lowe, and then Yuri van Dongen. Looks like he's on a better lap to try and improve on his current 11th position. Five and a half minutes to go. Bart Tonks moving up into 4th position on the previous lap, and Matti Zenko into 5th in the Porsche. We haven't seen him on the stream just yet, or so far, so he'll be looking to improve on that. Won both races of round 1 of this series. That was held at Portimao. They probably need to fix the brake disc glow on this game, because I know, having watched a few people spear a Porsche into the gravel trap on a few circuits, it looks like they have to wind the bias back, and that's causing the rear brakes to be much, much hotter than the front, which is, let's say, it's not very realistic, is it? So Adam Zavar on a 150.5 now, so he's a second clear at the front as he jumps into the pit, so that is going to be difficult to beat for these guys. Nobody within a second. You can see on the leaderboard 1.030 is Jonathan Howless, who's closest at the moment. Looking forward to be getting some custom liveries. At the moment, a lot of the guys using standard game liveries, and there's a lot of yellow Lambos. But there are a few notable exceptions. this evening. So I think we've got Kyle Wright. He's in the Mercedes, so he's not done a custom livery just yet. I say there was going to be some notable exceptions, but maybe not. Wonder if the new update fixed the drive-through stop-go penalties shown up on stream. Yeah, I honestly doubt it, because right now, if I just show you an example, when we switch cameras, we get this nice little box that says which trackside camera group we're in, which shouldn't really show up on the broadcast. So I can't imagine they've made many improvements to the actual stream overlay. It does mean I know which camera group I'm in though, so that does help me out somewhat. That's a shame Sam's stuck working at the moment. No racing for you. Yeah, it's a shame not to have you on the grid. As we go down to 2.5 minutes. Matti Zenko has managed to get within a second. He's 0.7 down at the moment on Adam Zavar. Apologies if I mispronounce some of the names, but I think it's pronounced Zadvar. 150.8 over the line on that lap, so he is now much closer, is Matti Zenko, so he's 0.28 behind pole position at the moment, so he's got 1 minute and 50 seconds to try and do something about that. Kyle Wright in third position, currently in the second sector. He's currently 0.8 of a second down. And then Jonathan Howless in fourth, just a further 10th down on Kyle Wright. Adam Foster in the pits, who's very, very close to Kyle Wright in fourth. Samuel Whibley in sixth position in the McLaren. He's a second down off the lead, but again, it's like a 10th between all of these guys. You can see on the leaderboard, very, very close from fourth all the way down to 12th position. Josh Copeland in 11th. Let's see how he's getting on in the Mustang. Struggling with understeer on the first race of the season in this car. All the front engine cars generally struggling. There has been an update to the game, so it'll be interesting to see if that has affected the performance of these front engine GT3 cars. Yeah, Sam in the chat saying the number plates will change. I have noticed that the number plates on the cars have updated, as far as I can tell, but just not on any of the overlays. One cool feature on the side of the Mercedes, as you see it come round, let's just jump onto Andrew Wellborn. You see the position marker, the position board on the side of the Mercedes, so that as he flashes back, that'll say 7th, which is a nice touch. I'm not sure all of the cars actually have that, so that is a nice little touch. Matti Zenko 0.2 behind now, so he's currently sat in the pits, so that'll be his effort over. And Samuel Whibley only 0.03 behind Matti Zenko, so 0.245 off the leader, but only 0.037 off Matti in second, so that's close for second position. Jonathan Howless just improving there across the line to go 4 tenths behind the leader and hopefully secure fourth position. Kyle Wright is in the pits, so he's not going to improve. Adam Foster in the pits. Andrew Wellborn is on a lap. Let's see how he does go over the line, and he does improve up to 6th position at 151.503. So a good last lap for Andrew in the dying moments of qualifying. A couple of other, Lloyd Reed looks like he'll come round to complete another lap. Just seeing if Samuel Whibley, he crosses the line and doesn't improve. Let's watch Lloyd Reed across the line, trying to use every inch of the racetrack. A 52.1. So I think he may have improved by a couple of positions there, 3 or 4 positions, so a good effort late on. Craig Fulton in the grass. So that is it. 21 runners. Let's have a quick look at the session results if we can. So on pole, Adam Zava, second Matti Zenko, followed by Samuel Wibley, Jonathan Howless, Carl Wright, Andrew Wellborn, Adam Foster, Albert Seragili, Phil Nauder, Bart Tonks, Josh Copeland, Lloyd Reed, Raul Fraguero, Harrison Fulton, Yuri Van Dongen, Jonathan Lowe, Aaron Sterrett, Yuri Amorim, Gabriel Ogra and Craig Fulton. And in 21st place, Patrick Balloch. So that is qualifying over for the first race of this evening. There is 2 races this evening, so there'll be 2 separate qualifying sessions. So all is not lost if you have a bad first race. Some insider knowledge, so the Porker is supposed to be quite slow on the straights, so maybe struggling around here. Monza, a traditionally straight line speed circuit. You need all the straight line speed you can get. Take all the wing off and let the lap time come to you. Sending wishes to Gabriel in this race, his other half. Thanks for joining us once again. Yeah, probably a good idea to sit in the slipstream until the last possible moment. Basically do what Alonso did at the Red Bull Ring to Liam Lawson. Just stay in the DRS. We are starting, so I'm not sure why some of the cars were still in the pits there. I might have actually selected one of the drivers that's not here. So they all roll down to the Parabolica for the rolling start, a short formation lap. So we've got Adam Zava in the the Lamborghini, and then Matti Zenko in the Porsche, then Samuel Wibley in the McLaren, and then Jonathan Howless in 4th position in the other Lamborghini. We've then got Carl Wright in the Mercedes and Andrew Wellborn alongside him in the other Mercedes, so very tight between the battle for the Mercedes. Adam Foster in the McLaren, Albert Seragili in the Lamborghini. So as they all trundle down the start-finish straight, we know what to expect at Monza. So let's see if these guys can prove us wrong. Fairly good start so far. Oh, and there's trouble at the back. We'll check into that in a little bit. But the Porsche and the Lamborghini side by side into the first corner. It's all backing up a little bit. Few little bits of contact. Nothing serious too far. I think we got through there okay. Let's just see them all through the second turn. The Curva Grande looks good. Down to the second chicane then. A few little mishaps at the first corner, but nothing too bad for Monza. Oh, have we just got a car going down the inside there, and he's gone wide. That's Josh Copeland in the Mustang. Just running wide. He rejoins alongside one of the McLarens and 2 of the Lamborghinis. He'll be looking to recover from there. Let's check in at the front. So Adam Zava maintains the lead ahead of Matti Zenko in 2nd place, and then Samuel Wibley in the McLaren. It's a good start from Samuel. He's dropped back a little bit from Matti Zenko, but not bad start at all. Looks like Andrew Wellborn pretty close to the back of that's Adam Foster in the McLaren. Can he do anything down to the Parabolica? No, thinks better of it. Adam Foster very good on the brakes into there. going to have Kyle Wright for company soon. Kyle Wright has managed to gap Albert Serigili in the Lamborghini because he's got Phil Nauder right up behind him as they come through the first chicane, all nice and tidy. Josh Copeland managed to get past one of those Lamborghinis. As the sun breaks through the clouds, that's not a very good camera angle, is it? Oh, it looks like we might have had a bit of contact there, did we? You can see how much brighter it is down on circuit now as the sun breaks through. So Josh battling with the second of those Lamborghinis. See if he can... oh, and he's binned it. Oh, and there's contacts. That's Craig Fulton, I think. So, big damage for Craig Fulton. No, it's not Craig Fulton, sorry. It's somebody in a McLaren. So that's Yuri Amaram. Big damage to the back of that McLaren, so he won't be going much further at any decent kind of speed. More insider information, so apparently the Mercedes is better than the Aston, because I think the Aston was a bit of a pig in the first 2 rounds. It's all settling down quite nicely here, so we just watched them come down, and who's that side by side? I think that's Andrew Wellborn and Kyle Wright. So Kyle Wright has gone through and Andrew Wellborn. Interesting to see if they'll be running the same setup, or maybe Kyle Wright in the silver Mercedes is running slightly less wing. Can Andrew stay with him? We know Kyle is a ultra quick driver. Andrew been out of the game for quite a while, so still getting back to grips with the sim racing. All line astern, some bigger gaps forming towards the back of the field, but Aaron Sterrett looks pretty close here alongside Craig Fulton, and Craig Fulton moving out the way, and then we've got Josh Copeland in the background just managing to get his way past Patrick Ballot. So a recovering Josh Copeland. We'll keep an eye on his progress. Where is the next battle going to be? We've got 2 Lambos shaking up there for a bit of a fight. I do believe that'll be Phil Nauder. It is Phil Nauder and Albert Serigili. A little bit wide there for Phil, but they are really catching up to the back of Andrew Wellborn. So Andrew Wellborn struggling for pace here. Kyle Wright has left him by over a second, certainly 2 seconds in fact, and he's going to be here's a good example of straight line speed for the Mercedes. So what can it do versus the Lamborghini? Nothing too dramatic. It looks like it is lacking a bit of straight line speed, but that Lamborghini tucked up in the slipstream, so that's not surprising that the Lambo's got a little bit of an edge. Let's jump on board with Albert following Andrew Wellborn here, so you can see he's gaining all the time. Will Andrew go defensive? He does. He places it in the middle of the circuit, but not enough to put off Albert. Andrew's good on the brakes though, so he does manage to maintain that 7th position for the time being. Oh, and Andrew's sideways through there is something out of a... oh, and he's looped it, and I think there might have been a little bit of contact there as well, so maybe a little bit too much front end on these front-engined GT3 cars now. We'll check in with the leaders because the gap is stable at about 1.2 seconds currently. Matty unable to do anything about Adam Zava at the moment, but Samuel Wibberley in third position, managing to hang on to these two guys. And then he's got Jonathan Howless behind him, and then Adam Foster, and then Kyle Wright, who seems to have good pace in that Mercedes, certainly doing better than Andrew Wellborn currently. Andrew Wellborn down into 16th position, so he's really suffered after that little spin earlier. Looks like we've got a couple of Lamborghinis here battling down the start-finish straight. In the slipstream then, this is Albert trying to pull a move. Oh, tried to switch across in the braking, but had a Lamborghini in front of him, and he just swipes across the back end of Albert's car. So that is Phil Nauder, who is trying that move down into the first hairpin, and he's got Harrison Fulton right behind him looking for a way in, or way past into the second chicane, and he's right up the inside. Phil turns in. Oh, nice little switchback from Harrison there. There's contact on the exit, and there's an incident, so he loops it and he makes contact with Adam Sterrett, so he's going to have to recover from there. So that's unfortunate for Phil Nauder. It was a good move from Harrison. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. It was very, very close quarters, but all looked good from where I was sitting. So the front four as they were, and Adam Foster, Kyle Wright. It'll be interesting to see if he can catch up to the back of Adam. And then Albert Serigili, who we just saw, followed by Harrison Fulton, Lloyd Reed, Raul Figueroa, Yuri Van Dongen, and then Phil Nauder and Jonathan Lowe, followed by Aaron Sterrett. I'm just wondering if I actually got the wrong car. So did Phil Nauder loop it, or was it somebody else? Who knows? Adds to the fun of the stream. Let's get the gaps on the leaderboard rather than the gap to the leader, so we can see who might be pretty close. It all looks like it's all over a second, other than 17th position, which is Patrick Boller. Oh, and there's somebody off in the background. Was that Josh Copeland? Indeed it was. Josh is having a little bit of a nightmare here at Monza this evening. Let's check in with Gabriel. He's currently down in 20th. Looks like he's had a few issues. And he's 20 seconds off 19th position. So Andrew Wellborn is down into 19th. So he's had more issues in the Mercedes. So can Gabriel do anything about Andrew? We'll see what the pace is like. Quite a bit of field spread at the moment. What we got? Jonathan Howless in 4th position is closing in on Samuel Wibberley. So let's check in on this battle. So McLaren versus Lamborghini for the podium position, or the final podium position. Let's jump on board, see what he's got. Not able to get any kind of a slipstream on that McLaren, and it sounds like the car was almost topping out there, but it's okay. Braking just before the 100-metre board. Taking plenty of curb. Using all the road on the exit, trying to keep that car, or get that car straight as possible, as soon as possible. Maximising traction. Very, very close at the front. on lap time. So we've got Adam Zarvar currently leading. It looks like he's coming to lap Andrew Wellborn in the Mercedes, so not a great day for Andrew, getting lapped in a half-an-hour race. Was it half an hour or 20 minutes? I don't even know. I should know that kind of thing. But yeah, Andrew's struggling in that Mercedes at the moment. I don't think it's pace. He's obviously just had a few incidents. But yeah, Adam Zarvar has done a 1:50.893 compared to Matti Zenko doing a 1:50.861, so just 0.03 of a second in it for the fastest lap at the moment. 20 cars still on the circuit. .4 seconds back from the leader as it stands, so currently Matti unable to really make a dent in that lead, and Samuel hanging on in third position. Good effort from Samuel, and then Jonathan starting to close in, but that gap is rather stable. Doesn't appear to be coming down at any rate of knots. Who else have we got? Any close battles? Jonathan Lowe catching up to the back of Phil Nauder, so this could be an interesting battle. Loads of curb taken by Jonathan on the exit of the first chicane. The sun has gone back in, so the temperature, track temperature, will have reduced. Lots of yellow Lamborghinis. See the body language of that car as he approached the braking, twitching around. Lots of curb taken, the car bottoming out, sparking as it goes over those curbs. Not a lot of ride height to play with on these GT3 cars. Jonathan Howless made a bit of a dent into Samuel's lead there, but drops back again. He made a couple of tenths up in the middle sector, but unable to carry that speed around the rest of the lap. Craig Fulton quite close to the back of Josh Copeland, battling it out for 16th and 17th position. Not where they would want to be, but it will give them something to do and somebody to race. Not sure if Josh maybe just went through on Craig, or if Craig's catching Josh. Yeah, Andrew Wellborn a lap down now. So he's in this little battle of lead cars, but he's going the wrong way. Can he learn anything from the leading cars? Just 4.5 minutes to go in this race one. Remember, there is going to be another qualifying session, so all is not lost. If you do have a bad race, Andrew will be very eager to improve on this performance. The rear of that car stepping out, and he's going to move over to the side to let the leaders through, which is understandable. Don't want to get involved, especially with this little battle here, which is shaping up nicely. Just 0.6 of a second behind now, Jonathan. So he is slowly catching Samuel for that final podium position. What can he do with just 3.5 minutes remaining? Looks like the lead is staying around 1.4 seconds between Adam and Matti. So we'll keep an eye on that battle while we focus on these two for the final podium position. Got a good run through Parabolica, so shall we jump on board and see what he can do from here? He's a little bit closer than he was the last time we jumped on board. The camera angle might affect that slightly. Brakes a little bit earlier, trying to get into the apex. A little bit wide through there, it looked like, certainly from this camera angle. Keeping an eye on Lloyd Reed in 9th position, catching Harrison Fulton for 8th. Currently a second behind, but this battle is definitely closer. Let's have a look back from the rear of Samuel's McLaren. The Lamborghini right in his mirrors. Oh, and that's Andrew Wellborn off again in the background. We won't focus in on that just to spare him the embarrassment, but Andrew Wellborn off again. I'm assuming that was his own doing, because I don't think he would want to be getting involved in any of these battles for the first positions. Kyle Wright still not able to close in that gap on Adam Foster. So let's have a quick rundown with just 1.5 minutes to go then. So we have Adam Zavar in first position currently, followed by Matti Zenko in second position, and then third place is, if the cameras behave, third place is Samuel Whibley, followed closely by Jonathan Howlers down the main straight. We've then got Adam Foster in the McLaren and Kyle Wright eager to hunt down that 5th position. Kai's looking close between these two now, hotting up, just a minute to go, so this may be the final lap, possibly. So he's going to throw everything up, and that's actually Matti Zenko in the running wide there, so he's lost 0.6 of a second with that little mistake on the exit of the chicane. Keep it together, Matti, it's the last lap. You've got a big gap in front and a big gap behind. Keeping an eye in the background as well at Kyle Wright, who looks like he's closing in a little bit on Adam Foster. Not enough at the moment though, still 1.2 seconds, and it looks like he's clattered the curbs in that second chicane. Can Jonathan do anything about Samuel? Samuel has been solid in this race. He's, as we see, Matti Zenko going wide again. He's really flirting with the gravel traps on this final lap. 2 seconds back from the leader. Samuel just goes a little bit defensive there just to try and cover off any moves from the Lamborghini, but I think he's going to be okay. Just one straight to go and the Parabolica. So let's check in with the leader. So Adam Zavar comes round the final corner to hopefully take the first victory in race 1 at Monza of the GT3 Sprint Series by Slip and Grip Sim Racing. Crosses the line to take the lead, or take the win, followed by Matti Zenko. Samuel Whibley holds on to 3rd position, closely followed by Jonathan Howless. Then Adam Foster, followed by Kyle Wright in 6th position. Albert Seragili in 7th, followed by Harrison Fulton in 8th, and then Lloyd Reed in 9th position. Then it's a big gap back to Raul Figueroa. In 10th position, then Yuri Van Dongen in 11th, and Phil Nauder, or Jonathan Lowe and Phil Nauder 12th and 13th. Bart Tonks just coming round the final turn. In 15th. I think I missed Adam Sterritt cross the line, and then we'll be waiting for Josh Copeland, who's a further 18 seconds behind, so we'll jump on with him because he's got Craig Fulton still for company. So some big gaps here at the end. These two crossing the line in 16th and 17th, and then Patrick Boller in 18th in the other Mercedes, so 3 Mercedes here this evening, crosses the line to take 18th position. And And we've got Gabriel just not bringing up the rear, actually, because he's beaten Andrew Wellborn. So he comes across the line in 19th position. A good race from him in the end, and Andrew has retired to the pits. So a DNF for Andrew Wellborn. Not the way he wanted this evening to start. I'm sure he'll be looking for a better result in race 2. So a pretty calm Monza race. As far as Monza races go, that was pretty tame. The first corner was a few incidents. Unfortunately, we can't really look at a replay. But nothing major. There was a couple of cars at the back of the field who actually came into contact before they actually got to the first chicane. So a little bit of elbows out down into turn 1. Probably just what you shouldn't do at Monza, but I'm sure they will learn from that. So stick with us. The next server will launch, so we'll pause the stream briefly, jump into the next server, and the next qualifying will be underway. We're just waiting for the practice to tick over. This gives the guys a chance to jump into the server before qualifying, load any setups, that kind of thing. So in just over a minute and a half, we'll be back with qualifying 2 for round 3 of the Slip and Grip GT3 Sprint Series. So here we go. The server rolls over into qualifying. Looks like the sun is out once again here at Monza. If you ever get a chance to visit this circuit, I recommend that you do, even if it's not on a race weekend, because there's a lovely park if you want to just browse around. And a lot of history at Monza, as you probably know. Lots of things to look at and keep you interested. So, will we see a repeat of the first race and the first qualifying pace? We know the pace settled down pretty much into position for that first race, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone's made any setup changes or trying something new to try and upset that pecking order. A few of the guys out of position in that first race. We know they was making mistakes. Certainly Andrew Wellborn, Josh Copeland as well, having issues. So they'll be hoping to capitalise on a better race. Not capitalise, just have a better race, basically. Not a great start for those two. So we see them all funneling round, some of them better than others, getting some temperature in the tyres, because I don't believe tyre warmers are turned on, so these guys, you'll see them weaving around, getting some temperature into the tyres, into the brakes, so they can attack on the first or second flying lap. Once again, good luck from Andrea to Gabriel. Hopefully he'll have a better race this time round, but he did beat Andrew Wellborn in the last one, so it could have been worse. To see all the cars weaving down the back straight, pretty cool shot as they will all cross the line this time around in maximum attack mode. Let's jump on board with... Let's go on board with the winner of race 1, shall we? Let's go on board. and he can take us for a lap of Monza. Still trying to warm the tyres, so maybe this first lap isn't going to be the one. So this will be costing him time anyway, so he's looking like he's going to take another warm-up lap. Let's jump on with Matti Zenko. Something definitely wrong with the audio there. Not troubling the curb on the inside of the second Lesmo. I always get the Lesmos and the Degners mixed up, so please excuse me if I've got them the wrong way around. I know one's at Suzuka. But anyway, through Ascari. The last curb through Ascari is a pain in the arse because take too much and it launches you over to the gravel, and if you don't take enough you just lose all of the lap time. So we'll see what this lap is for the first attempt. Likely that the tyres are not quite up to temperature, so Matti probably just warming up here for another go at a fast lap. A lot of these guys are probably fueled for 3 or 4 laps, I'd imagine. So 153, yeah, so significantly off the pace. These tyres taking quite a long time to warm up. So as you see them across the line, they're all in the 153s at the moment, other than Albert, who's a little bit further off the pace, but there's going to be a lot more pace to find in this session. So we've just had it confirmed that it's at least 2 laps for a proper warm-up, so no point in binning it on those first 2 laps when you know the tyres aren't up to temperature and aren't able to give you the lap time that they can provide you later on once they are up to temperature. Easy to overdrive on cold tyres and you might put in an absolute hero lap, but it's just slow because you literally do not have the grip. Already found 0.4 of a second in the first sector, so we'll follow Matti to the end of this lap just to see how these lap times progress. Middle sector, half a second up again, so that's nearly 9/10 of a second up on his first lap time. So you can see that the tyres are coming to the cars all of the time. I think, as Sam Wooldridge says in the chat, the 3rd lap or 4th lap will probably be the quickest times we will see. 10-minute session this week. I know we started with only a 5-minute, but it just was not long enough to get in any laps and get the tyres up to temperature, as we've mentioned. So 4 minutes to go, so we'll have at least a couple, 2 or 3 laps more to try and bring down that lap time. As it stands, Kyle Wright on a 151.678, so he's currently at the top of the leaderboard in the Mercedes. We know they were able to do 150, kind of low 150s in the race, so that time will likely be beaten, but you do have to keep it on the circuit, and when you're pushing in qualifying, it's very, very easy to make a mistake. If you go off and damage the car, there's no way you're going to get back to the pits, back out, heat those temperatures up, or heat the tyre temperatures up, and do a fast lap in 3 minutes. So all of the pressure on all of the drivers right now. Nobody wants to be in the pits right now, because if you're in the pits, that's pretty much game over for you. So all of these drivers need to keep it on the circuits. We see Cal Wright at the rear of that Mercedes, just stepping out into the right-hander. Looks like he's up on his own time at the moment. Those purple sectors not necessarily fastest session times. Not sure they've fixed that for v1.0 either. Through Ascari looks pretty good, lots of curb taken and not too wide on the exit, looks very, very neat. Looks like he's had a slow middle sector though. Yeah, a slow middle sector compared to the quickest is over a second slower than the quickest sector at the moment. Adam Zava on pole, so the winner from race 1 is currently pole. Kyle Wright 4/10ths down, and then Jonathan Howless another 10th behind him. Still waiting for Matti Zenko, who just crosses the line, goes up into second position, so he just pips. Oh, sorry, Jonathan Howless, who we were on board. We just switched to Matti, but Jonathan Howless following Matti Zenko, maybe taking advantage of the big fat slipstream that Porsche provides, sticks it on pole on a 1:40.9 with only 2 minutes to go. So he'll probably stick to the back of Matti Zenko here. Fastest sector 2 for Jonathan Howless as well on that lap. So good pace shown there from Jonathan. 4th in race 1, if I remember correctly. So could he... Oh, as we see Kyle Wright absolutely sideways out of the second chicane there. I'm not sure what the green spanner means. If anyone could tell me in the chat, that would be good. Because yeah, it's kind of no context. You get blue flags, yellow flags, green spanners. You know, maybe it means you need to pit for fuel. Who knows? So currently Jonathan still on pole, and Matti Zenko has just dropped behind him on this lap, so maybe Matti lining up for another lap. There's only a minute to go. Very low on fuel is the green spanner, so if we ever flick to anyone with very low on fuel, it's likely that they won't get many more laps in. Apologies that the stream is being very, very choppy. Yeah, not much I can do. No idea what's causing it. So around the final turn then for Jonathan. What's it going to be? A 150.9 to beat his own time. 150.693, so he takes pole, and it's a bigger gap now. 24 seconds to go, so everyone will get another lap as they cross the line before the clock ticks to 0. Matti Zenko will be keen to put in a quick lap, but he's behind Jonathan on the track, so will Jonathan let him pass, or will he just stay there? Yellow flag in one of the sectors. Lloyd Reed up to 3rd position on that last lap, so a good 151.2 for him across the line. Albert Serigili in 5th position as it stands. You can see he's very low on fuel. I think we'll try and find somebody about to cross the line and then stick with it. So they're going through the middle sector. Who else have we got? Right, Samuel Wibberley coming down the straight. He's on a reasonable lap for him. It'll be interesting to see what his time is across the line. Kyle Wright still in 6th position. So checkered flag then. So Samuel Wibberley goes up to 5th position. Good lap from him. Jonathan Howless still in front of Matti Zenko, and the gap is larger than it was, so I don't think Matti Zenko is going to improve on 4th position. Oh, Jonathan Howless wide through Parabolica, and that is he's going to be gutted, because that was going to be a quick lap, and he's thrown it all the way in Parabolica. Does Matti Zenko improve? He does improve up to 2nd position, so a good final lap there from Matti to recover that time, but we saw Jonathan Howless at the front was already pulling away on that lap, so I imagine the gap would have been at least half a second more than it was at the moment for Jonathan, who sticks it on pole. So here is the starting order, or the qualifying positions for qualifying 2. quickly just flick through those. A lot closer in this session, only 3.2 seconds down to 20th position. So getting closer. So here's the starting position. So Jonathan on pole from Matizenko with that late effort. Adam Zaha, the winner from race 1, in 3rd position, unable to repeat the success from race 1. And then Lloyd Reed, Albert Serigili and Samuel Wibberley in 6th position, followed by Kyle Wright and Phil Nauder in 8th position. Good showing from Phil there. Bart Tonks in 9th position and Uri Amarim in 10th, and that's also a good effort from him. Josh Copeland in 11th position, followed by Harrison Fulton in 12th. Andrew Welborn still struggling in the Mercedes in 13th position, followed by Adam Foster in the McLaren. Yuri van Dongen in 15th position, followed by Jonathan Lowe in 16th. Raul Fagero in 17th position, followed by Aaron Sterrett, who's struggled in that qualifying too. Patrick Bollock in 19th, followed by Craig Fulton in the McLaren in 20th, and then Gabriel bringing up the rear in 21st. Michael Gustafsson in 22nd. So 22 runners in that race. Gabriel was last in that one. Apologies. So let's switch to, let's just turn that off. So we jump back to the front of the pack. Hopefully a little bit easier to follow. We might know who's who in this race. I very much doubt it. But hopefully we have a nice clean start for race 2 here at Monza. Can Andrew Welborn have a better race? He starts from 13th position, so not a great position to fight from. Here we go then. Squeezing over to the inside, so that was Jonathan. So he's lost first position to Matizenko in the Porsche, and that's Zaha, the winner from race 1, challenging into turn 1. All pretty good through the first chicane. So Matizenko takes the lead of race 2, followed by Zaha and Jonathan Howless after that great qualifying session, down to 4th position already as they come round the Curva Grande into the second chicane for the first time. Let's watch them through here. Check there's no issues. That's a Lamborghini going to the inside, trying to pull a move. A couple of little side-by-side bits of action there. Somebody running wide on the gravel. And Matizenko under pressure from Adam Zaha. Very early on, he's going to feel this pressure. We saw the pace was very, very close in race 1, and that's Jonathan Howless getting on the gravel in 3rd position, and also Lloyd Reed in 4th. So first, and a nearly bit of contact there between the Lamborghini and the Porsche, just on the brakes into Ascari. I think he just tags the rear of Matizenko, so that's let Matizenko gap Adam Zaha in 2nd position, and that's Jonathan Howless trying to make amends after that poor first lap. Can he go round the outside of Parabolica? No, he cannot. Tucks in to the inside, trying to get a run onto the start-finish straight, but he's got Lloyd Reed and Albert Serigili behind him, and then Phil Nauder sniffing as well. So really, really close for these 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th positions. That's really let Matizenko off the hook there. Kyle Wright looking for a move up into the inside of Josh Copeland as well. Makes it stick actually, so that's a good move from Kyle. Josh doing quite well in 10th position. He's definitely improved. Somebody slightly wide there in the gravel. Let's look at this battle here, because these two are very, very close. So this is 5th and 6th position. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then 4th and 5th. He's up the inside. This is Albert up the inside of Lloyd, but he can't get it done. Tries again down the inside, but he gets his nose chopped, and he actually goes quite wide there on entry, and that's allowed the the number 60 of Phil Nauder to close on the back of Albert now. A good start. I'm just having a look at Jonathan Howells, because I think he has dropped back a little bit after being right on the back of that Lamborghini. So Adam Zaha with very good pace. I keep saying Zaha, but I think it's Zadvar. Sorry. Can we do on board with the Merc? Yeah, let's choose... Where's he gone? We've lost somebody. Carl Wright, I missed that, and now he's in the gravel now, so he's had an issue. I just looked at the chat and noticed that Kyle had disappeared. Let's quickly just do an on board. Sounds alright. That sounds better. So, Adam closing up to the back of Matti Zenko. It'll be interesting to see if Matti's pace allows Jonathan Howells in 3rd position to close up on the back of Adam in 2nd position. And we might have a 3-way battle for the lead of this race. 5 minutes are gone, just 15.5 minutes to go. Somebody in the background shaping up for a move there. Looks like that could have been Samuel Wibberley in the McLaren. Albert Seragili very, very close to the back of Lloyd Reed here. These Lamborghinis almost dominating this race at the moment, but that is Samuel trying to go for a move, and he's got it done on Phil Nauder. Jump back to the front, because this is a very, very close battle. We'll go and have a look at the battles further down the leaderboard later on. For now, we will stick with this battle for P1 and P2. Decent livery, Raul. So apparently he's going to be the GOAT. What lap times are we doing? Not at the moment, but he is making progress. Currently in 11th position behind Adam Foster. Bit of damage on the front of that McLaren. And it's all hotting up at the front of this race, because Matti Zenko is not getting away. And we've also got cars behind catching up all the time, so a bit of pressure being applied to Matti Zenko here. See damage on the front of that Lamborghini. I think that was from the earlier contact. I don't think that was with Matti, as you see them all streaming through the second chicane. Not big gaps. Josh Copeland doing well in this race, up to 9th position. Nice and closely bunched. Gabriel currently in, where is he? 17th position, so he's made positions on Craig Fulton, Kyle Wright and Andrew Wellborn and Bart Tonks. So Andrew Wellborn having another nightmare. Both, or two of the three Mercedes having an absolute nightmare in this race too. Kyle Wright 19th and Andrew Wellborn 20th, so they're really not having a good time of it so far in this second race. Maybe a small gap being opened up to Jonathan Howells in 3rd position, but the closer these two get, the more they're likely to slow each other down if they start battling. 12.5 minutes to go, so we're nearly halfway through this race already. It's flown by. in very, very close action so far. Down the box into first gear for the first chicane, waiting to unleash the power of the GT3 Lamborghini, staring at the big fat arse of that Porsche 911, trying to think of a way past, but it's not going to be easy. We know Matti Zenko will defend boldly, shall we say. Good run through the second chicane there for the Lambo. Seems to be riding the curbs really nicely. Applying pressure throughout the lap here. Slowly catching a little bit off the apex there for Matti. Just about gets away with it. The top three then have pulled a gap. 3.1 ahead of Lloyd Reed in fourth position, so as long as these three behave themselves, they shouldn't have any trouble from behind. We will just check in with this little battle behind. So we've got Lloyd Reed, Samuel Wibberley, Phil Nauder, Harrison Fulton close behind, then Josh Copeland followed by Adam Foster, Raul Figueroa up into 10th. Somebody in the gravel there, Amorim, and Aaron Sterrett behind him, then Yuri Van Dongen, Patrick Ballock, and then Kyle Wright in recovering Mercedes. Gabriel Ogra has been taken by Kyle Wright. Craig Fulton, Albert Serigili has dropped back, Jonathan Lowe, and then Andrew Wellborn further just coming into shot. Let's jump back up to the front because it's getting really close. We don't want to miss any of the action here, and that is Jonathan Howless getting closer. I do believe it is. 10 minutes and 8 seconds to go, and these top three are really, really pushing. Only one mistake can make the difference here. So a lot of pressure for all three of these drivers. Jonathan Howless probably in the best position, in my eyes, able to watch these two battle and not get too involved and just hope that these two come to blows and try and pick up the pieces later on. That little battle pack behind, headed by Lloyd Reed, is kind of hotting up as well. Really good racing here in race 2. Much more consistent on lap times and really clean racing so far. The early pace looked like it was Adam Zavas in the Lamborghini, but he's just not managed to really trouble Matti Zenko at the halfway point, as we see him close in the middle of Ascari by a long, long way. So he's got in a good run here down to Parabolica. Will Matti Zenko defend? He's white lining it at the moment. The Lambo a car length back. He thought about going for it there, so Matti defends into Parabolica. The Lamborghini taking a more traditional entry into the corner in the hope they'll carry more speed from the exit, but Jonathan Howless has got really good speed here in that third car in the second Lamborghini. Let's jump on board with him as we chase the second position Lambo. What can he do from here? He's got front row tickets to this battle, and Matti Zenko's defended down into turn 1. He tries to go round the outside. It's side by side, there's a bit of door banging. Unable to make it stick. Matti Zenko survives that attack into the first chicane. So great battling here in the GT3 Sprint Series. Matti Zenko survives another day. And that was really close stuff. There was a little bit of contact in the mid-corner, but nothing too bad. Certainly didn't affect either of them too badly. Big amount of curb there for Adam in second position. Hasn't cost him any time though. Gabriel Ogra up to 16th now, so a good run from him. He's taken Craig Fulton for 16th. 7.5 minutes to go. It'd be tough to call this one. Who's your money on? We know Adam in second position has got the pace. You see him win that first race quite comfortably, but we know Matti Zenko will fight hard for the entirety of this race. Or will it be Jonathan Howless who managed to put in that pole time for race 2? We know he's got good pace, and he's sat there stalking these two, waiting for any opportunity. Quick look at Harrison Fulton, who's right up behind Phil Nauder for 6th position as they go side by side onto the start-finish straight. It's going to be a battle all the way down to the first chicane. I'm keeping an eye on the times at the front. It's currently fairly stable, but these two very, very close across the line. So Harrison Fulton on the inside, he will have the advantage into the chicane, but will Phil Nauder be able to hold it around the outside and take the inside for the second part? He does. Harrison has no choice but to dip on the inside and loses traction on the exit, so he doesn't get a good run out through Curva Grande. The gap a little bit bigger as they come round with 6 minutes to go. As I say that, the Lamborghini immediately closes that gap to Matti. So it does look like Adam Zava in second position has got the pace, but he's just unable to find a way past as it stands. Look at the speed he carries out of there. Matti Zenko's got that all wrong, so this is going to be interesting. They're going to be side by side under the bridge into Ascari. Will Matti Zenko have the straight line speed to hold that inside? It looks like he does. Let's see what happens through Ascari. Adam gives him it with the hope of getting an undercut on the exit. He's all over the back. Alternate lines for those two. Adam trying to get a run, but that's allowed Jonathan Howlers to get a good run on both of them. So he's just about tucked up into the slipstream here, so he'll be sniffing here, looking for a way by side into Parabolica. Adam taking a wider line, hoping to drive out of the corner and get good straight line speed. The rear of that Porsche just stepping out, losing a bit of traction for Matti Zenko, so he won't have carried as much speed as he could onto the start finish. He's going to defend all the way down the start finish straight. He's white lining it. He's had to come wide because Adam's almost passed on the straight. It's going to be a battle on the brakes into turn 1. Very, very close, but no contact. Great racing there from both of these guys, and Matti Zenko survives another lap in the lead of this race. Just 4.5 minutes to go now. Lapping at 1:51 on average, so about 2 or 3 laps to go. Really, really close action. Fantastic racing, and hopefully this will continue for the next 4 minutes. And we will find out who emerges victorious out of these 3 guys, the Porsche and 2 Lamborghinis. The rear brakes on that Porsche glowing of Matti Zenko, trying to keep it on the track. Commit enough to hold that position, but not too much to make a mistake. It's pretty much even Stevens on the gaps at the moment, 0.35 between all 3 of these cars. Into Ascari then. There's a yellow flag somewhere out on circuit. I can't see who it is. Another good run then from Adam. Matti Zenko trying to break the toe, weaving around, trying to not allow Adam any advantage. Oh, a little twitch there in the rear of that Porsche is out sideways. Adam gets on the throttle hard and the rear of that Lambo sticks, so it's going to be side by side, and he's up the inside, and Matti Zenko probably isn't going to be able to come across and defend. So Adam does have the inside down into turn 1. So let's switch to the TV cameras to see what happens here. See who emerges from this first chicane. So Adam has the inside, Matti Zenko on the outside, chooses to have a bit of a switchback. Oh, and Adam's deep in the middle, so that's compromised them both, and it's a drag race out of the first chicane. We've got Jonathan Howless in third behind both of these, getting a massive slipstream. He's going to go to the outside to make it 3 wide through Curva Grande into the second chicane. He's got the advantage on the inside. We've got Adam on the outside and Matizenko on the inside. Who's going to bottle? Jonathan bottles it. He's allowed Matizenko to get back into the lead, and he's getting a good run on the back of Adam now. Thought Jonathan was going to go from third to first there, but they came out of that, and that was really neat, really close racing. Really good respect from all three of these guys. Fantastic stuff, and somehow Matizenko is still in the lead. And he's built a little bit of a gap. It's not a big one, it's only 0.4 of a second. 1 minute 55 to go, so maybe 2 laps now into Ascari. Jonathan all over the back of Adam in the green Lamborghini. But that green Lamborghini does seem to have some really good speed through the middle of Ascari. Take a breath. Here we go then. Let's jump on board with Jonathan across the line. Last lap round they were almost 3 wide. Well, they were 2 wide into turn 1 and then 3 wide into turn 2. I don't think this lap it's going to be quite so close, but it is looking like Jonathan is closing. Adam chooses to go a little bit defensive, but then drifts back onto the racing line in the braking area, so Jonathan will have to check up a little bit there. The gap's opening up a little bit on this lap, so it's half a second between each of these guys, so maybe just recuperating a little bit, but I'm just trying to think if this might be the final lap, because I think it will, so this could be the final lap. So all of that battling on the previous lap might have came a little bit early, but that Lamborghini really closes in on the back of Matizenko. Apologies that we won't be concentrating on the other battles, because this is the best battle on the circuit, and it's for 1, 2 and 3. So we will stick with it. What can Adam do? Last lap. Can he get in the slipstream? The Porsche's got a good exit though. So it's all going to be down into the Parabolica. So who commits most through Ascari? Who throws caution to the wind and takes that little bit more curb and risks everything for the victory? The Lamborghini again looks quick, and he's got a good run here. Matizenko is going to white line this all the way down if he feels that that Lamborghini's got any chance whatsoever of getting up the inside. He's got a fairly good gap though. He's not gone defensive. Will the Lamborghini try anything? No, he does not. Deep on the brakes. They'll be really late on the brakes and just trying to get it stopped on the apex. A good exit from Matti, and the Lamborghini doesn't look like it's got any answer. Jonathan Howless gets a good run out, but this will be the finish. So across the line, Matizenko followed by Adam Zava and Jonathan Howless in third position. Really good race by those guys. Lloyd Reed finishes in fourth position, followed by Samuel Wibbly, Harrison Fulton, Adam Foster and Phil Nauder. Raul Figueroa in ninth, Josh Copeland 10th and Kyle Wright in 11th position. Oh, I need to breathe, because I can't say this many things in such a short space of time without messing up. So that's Albert Serigili, then Patrick Baloff in 13th, then Aaron Sterrett coming across the line. Yeah, then Van Dongen, Waldeck. Sorry, that's not Van Dongen, that's somebody else. Excuse me, I've lost track of who's finished. Who's not finished? Nobody. They've all finished. It's all good. Yeah, Kyle's had a mare and Wellborn. Where's Wellborn? Is he still out there? He is still out there. Somewhere. Well, he was. Apparently that's Andrew Wellborn. A lonely patch of grass. So that was fantastic racing for race 2 there. Really enjoyed that. Stream was okay. Version 1 of this game. This is the full release. And it's pretty much the same as the early access. So hopefully they will carry on improving this title, because it does need some work, especially from my side if we intend on streaming like this. somebody with my terrible speaking ability and memory skills really does need all the help he can get. So thanks very much for joining us. Well done to all the guys. It was a good effort tonight. Really clean racing. Excellent effort into turn 1 on that second race. Really nice to see. And we should hopefully be here next week. I need to mute it. 1 second. Otherwise we get copyright. We should be here next week for round 4. Yeah, so join us then. And until then, enjoy your week and we'll see you next time. Cheers.